sir. Okay, step on in here. Hey, Doug. Welcome. Come in. Welcome. How about a seat over here, Doug? Sure. John, if you want to assist here too, we're going to give yeah, that mic is on. That mic's on, Doug. And what we're going to do today, we had a good interview. I started to record already, and we interviewed yesterday, a very nice interview with you yesterday, and not to be redundant, repeat that today. We're going to try something a little different. We're going to let you just communicate with people around the world in the chat room, maybe answer questions and talk about whatever you want to.
Okay, sounds great.
And there's close to about 1,000 people in here right now. Or there was about 1,300 in here when we gave the grand prize away a few minutes ago. But
okay. By the way, there's a young man here that really wants your autograph. Hey, with the Army shirt on, yeah.
Okay. Step on around here. Step on around.
John, KJ4SLS. Hey, you got my buddy here, John. John, where are you from?
Florida.
John from Florida. His call sign is Kilo Juliet 4 Sierra Lima Sierra. And good to meet you. He's got an Army shirt on, so he's gonna be my buddy for the. You want to sit here, Bryce?
Right.
Okay. And I'll sign that picture for you when we get all finished up here.
Very good. Okay. Well, let's John, if you can help read any of that for him. I know it's the sunlight's going to make it a little difficult. Well, here's one. And John and I can alternate. No, I didn't, but I think we're okay. Or you can change it. You can log in. We're going to log you in as you.
Okay.
How would you like? What would you like to be called?
Astro Wheels. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to make you Astro Wheels.
If you're out there on Twitter as well, it's at Astro_Wheels. I'm on Twitter. Wheels with an S?
Yeah.
Wheels with an S. I try to, I'm not very good at answering my mail on there, but try to send some pictures and things from our space travels.
Okay, well.
My mic is low. Okay, how's that?
Well, look, I'll start it off. I think it's okay. We'll just talk into the mic. I checked it. Hey, we can kind of alternate. John's going to help us a little bit, but I saw one here. He said, "Gee, this is going to roll fast." But 6-year-old son here. Let's see. My son's 6 years old. Has a question for Doug. What was your favorite food? What's your favorite food while in space?
My favorite food in space? Well, actually in space, everything sort of tastes like warmed up plastic. So as all the food in space, my favorite food is when those Russian resupply capsules would come up. Just before they closed the hatch at the launch site, they'd throw a bag of like fresh fruit in there, some oranges and apples and bananas and some kiwi fruit and some fresh tomatoes. And so that was my favorite food. Whenever we get one of those resupply vehicles, we'd open that hatch, and boy, that fresh fruit smelled really good. The coolest contact I had made with a ham radio, gosh, they were all so much fun. I connected with some scouts on a jamboree at space camp. That was a lot of fun. I caught some people up in the mountains hiking up in the Cascades, and that was a bunch of fun. So, but every one of them were just a real exciting time for me to pick them up on the radio. I don't have a ham station set up on home. I call it my gravity call sign is Kilo Fox 5 Bravo Oscar Charlie, but I have never used it. So I've only used my anti-gravity call sign, which is November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra aboard the space station. So I don't have any equipment yet, but I've been spending my time here at my free time here at the convention, the ham convention, kind of looking for my first equipment.
How do you get around boarding space?
Well, actually, the first couple of weeks you bump into everything. So it's kind of used to. It's like getting used to walking when you're first learning to walk. Getting used to floating around and kind of propelling yourself, your body through the space station and stuff. It takes a few weeks to get used to that, and then, but the first couple of weeks you're bumping around all the corners and knocking computers off the wall and everything else. So it's a little bit rough at first. How do you keep fresh food from being pureed during launch? Well, I think it's packed away in bags, and it's got some packing material in there, so it kind of protects it from the vibration of launch. So it's not so bad when it gets to space.
What age were you when you decided to be an astronaut?
What age was I when I decided to be an astronaut? It was, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut, but I really thought it was kind of too big of a dream for me to achieve. So I just wanted to fly when I was a kid, and then it was probably when I was in my mid to late 20s where I really felt like maybe being an astronaut was an achievable goal for me. So. How many test launches would I want to see before I would consider flying on a commercial launch provider like SpaceX? I would love to go out on a limb and say, like, just throw me on there, throw me in that briar patch. But I'd want them to get a couple of launches, probably just to make sure they could hold pressure and survivable life support systems on board, and then return safely to the Earth. And I think that took 1 or 2 flights. I'd be happy to go.
Here's a question about technical problems. I know you countered some up here. What type of technical problems do you have, and are any of them really serious?
Well, we actually, life on the space station, it's like there's something breaking every day. It seems like something's not working quite right, and sometimes they're critical things like the bathroom. When the bathroom breaks, everyone gets very, very, it's all hands on deck when the bathroom breaks. You want to get that fixed.
Now, Doug, you brought it up. I've been trying not to talk about this, but I understand that there's a simulator for the toilet. Now, I've heard when you sit on there, it's got these arms, it's got 50 switches, and it also has a camera under there for proper alignment. Is that true?
It has a camera, and you try to line things up. You plan for a little bit of Kentucky windage maybe, and then you just kind of line up the target.
All right.
Scariest moment while I was in space. Actually, when we had the pump module failure was a pretty scary moment. Sometimes when you hear those bumps in the night, you hear them here on Earth, and you might go look out the window and kind of check and make sure there's nobody out in the yard or something. But when you hear a bump in the night on the space station, you start checking your ears, making sure they're not popping, and making sure you can still breathe and everything. So when things start failing on board, that's probably the scariest time.
We'd like a lot more ham radio on there. Now, I think the problem is you can't just drill a hole through the wall and run a coax out.
Yeah, it's a little tough when we're dealing with going outside the hull of the space station. So we do have flow-through connectors that we can flow, obviously electrons and things through. We have fluid connectors as well that flow between hulls of different modules and things like that. So it's most of the antenna and things that we carry on board the station is designed into the makeup and the engineering design of the module. Anything unusual? I think, yeah. One day I was doing a spacewalk, and the sun that we'd gone on the backside of the Earth, so it was dark, and I turned my helmet lights on, and I was kind of maneuvering down the truss, and I saw something flash out of the corner of my eye, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to look over there, and if there's an alien out there, I'm going to be creeped out, okay? But I didn't see an alien. I looked over and actually saw a meteor going below me, burning into the atmosphere down below us, and that was kind of a cool and interesting perspective on a meteor coming back into our atmosphere. So that was probably the strangest thing I saw.
Ham Radio. I had a great time talking to you, and I'm sorry I couldn't make it to the end, but Corey also says, my son also, Corey also says hello and wants to be an astronaut. Okay, great. Hello to Corey, and that looks like it's Kilo Delta Zero Juliet Whiskey Yankee. Great to talk to you again, and yeah, I'm sorry you couldn't make it either. I was really, really glad. There was a period of time I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it here to Dayton, but really glad I came. It was a really fun time. I got to meet a handful of folks that we spoke to from the space station as well. So thank you for the best wishes, and hello to Corey, and 73 to you guys.
M7 NBB is asking about other women astronauts in the space program.
Other women astronauts in the space program.
How many others?
Okay. Oh gosh, numbers I don't know, but we do have several women astronauts at NASA. It was unusual when I was up there because we actually had 3 Americans, and two of them were women, and I was the only guy. So that was a little unusual. It was the first time we had 2 long duration women flyers, but I'm sure that'll happen again in the near future, and we've got several women astronauts.
Well, I've got a granddaughter, Morgan. She's watching you right now, and I think she wants to be an astronaut. Maybe if you say hello, you'll convince her to be one.
Well, hello, Morgan, and it's great to talk to you. And yeah, I you know, when I was a kid, it was just all guys. You know, it was guys and test pilots. You know, so being in the military and things like that. Well, it's changed quite dramatically being in the astronaut corps now. In fact, you don't have to be in the military anymore. You don't have to be a guy anymore. You can be a girl or a guy and get in, be an astronaut as a woman or a man. And so that's a real nice, opens a lot of doors of opportunities for our little young ladies that are wanting to study math, science, and engineering. So it'll be great to have you on board. We'll keep a desk open for you down there at NASA.
Hey, here's a question from the UK. They're wanting to know if you've picked up any goodies at the Hamfest.
Oh gosh, if I've picked up any goodies at the Hamfest. Yeah, actually, it's been a real treat just to meet people from all over, really all over the world, and some that we made contact with, some that I heard their stories of how they're trying to make contact with us, and so goodies as far as I actually got a nice plaque from Tom here that my certificate of contacting nearly all the ham radio operators in Memphis, and that was a nice treat. And gosh, I got little gifts and trinkets from both the ARRL and also the AMSAT folks, and was treated to a nice dinner and great lunch, and I'm around a bunch of friends, so that's a real treat for me in itself.
There's a Tom here saying, say hello, tell Jim Dutton hello. Do you know Jim Dutton?
Jim Dutton, hello. Okay, yeah.
He spent a day helping him rebuild his house after Katrina. I don't know if you know these guys.
I know. I know Jim Dutton, and I'll let him know you said hello, and I'm sure he'll pass along his thanks again for your assistance. I did not. Bill in New Mexico, it's a great question, Bill. Great to talk to you. I wasn't able to do that, the keyboard-to-keyboard QSOs on packet. Contacts from space, we're estimating